What up, what up, what up, what it is, what it do? You know who it is, who are you? You back with the fellas from the 22 twos. You have missed us, we've missed you. We're here for you to give you a vibe check. Again, we're giving you a vibe check. TMZ has nothing on us, so stop looking at them. I know y'all been waiting for us to come back and give y'all all the tea. So here we are, the 22 two fellas. I'm gonna kick it over to our moderator extraordinaire so we can go ahead and
Boys,
get right into this. Pause.
boys, we like to touch on all subjects.
Pause.
Pause. But,
We have to
it feels
preface.
like
Based on this conversation, we need to preface pause for this whole
a
conversation because
whole
this is
conversation.
pause from the rip. All right.
Pause everything. Pause it all. Pause it all. But fellas, we touch on all these subjects. Pause. But we always come back to two things. Last year it was Drake versus Kendrick, and this year the Diddler. The Diddler is back again. He is in
That name
court
is crazy.
fighting for his life. Right up the block, from me, in the Brooklyn Center. I heard that center's crazy. I heard it's super cramped, it's super small. I don't know what the situation is over there, but Diddy going through it. I heard he's all gray. He out there in that courtroom every day fighting for his life. But boys, we have heard so much testimony. I believe we are in week 4 of this trial that's expected to go at least 6 to 8 weeks long. The prosecution has brought up a number of witnesses from the Punisher to, of course, Cassie, their main witness. Shout out to Cassie. Congratulations on the newborn. Kid Cudi, Capricorn Clark, who served that time at Bad Boy as Diddy's personal assistant on several occasions. Different security guys. It's been a lot, right? So the jury, of course, are privy to the hotel video of Diddy, putting the pause on Cassie in that hotel lobby by the elevator. There's been a lot of testimony of how Diddy has threatened so many people, has coerced them, has used his power, his fame, his money to kind of control their lives and, have them basically do his dirty work time and time again. I've been following the case very, very closely from several sources. I know you boys have been tapping in here and there. Maneuvers, talk to me about this Diddy trial. I know you think he's probably going to beat the case. I don't think he's going to beat the case. I think there are enough predicate acts of the RICO, from coercion to force to arson. Listen, we got to remember that the testimony of all these witnesses are evidence, right? It could say he say, she say, but if Capricorn Clark is telling you Diddy came to my door with a gun and said, "Why you ain't tell me who the fuck Scott was?" For those of you that don't know, that is Kid Cudi's name. With a gun, and told her, "You're coming with me." She said, "I don't want to go." He said, "I don't give a fuck what you want to do." Excuse my French. She gets in the car. They go to Kid Cudi's house. She's sitting in the car while Diddy goes into the house and he's opening Christmas presents and going through the house. She calls Cassie from a burner phone. Diddy then comes back to the car, sees the burner phone, calls the last number, realizes it's Cassie, and is like, "What the fuck is this phone?" Like,
What's
that
the
level of
craziest shit?
detail is insane.
Breaking into a nigga house and opening his Christmas presents.
This is diabolical. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? There's been a lot of talk about, the Diddy's team trying to go for a mistrial because of the fingerprints on the bottle used for the Molotov cocktail, being a representative of a woman and, possibly destroying evidence, a whole bunch of things. But from my perspective, of course, I'm not on the jury, but from my perspective, there have been enough witnesses who have been worked very close to Diddy over the years, with their testimony, has shed a lot of light on how he used force and coercion over them. Of course, they're flying in prostitutes and escorts. That, alludes to the sex trafficking. Then you have the blowing up of Kid Cudi's car, which is the arson. They only need 2 predicate acts of RICO out of 8 to convict him.
But FJB, that's the problem, right? Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all rock. Go ahead. I've said enough. I want to hear from y'all.
That's the problem. It's like all of this is just conjecture. You know what I'm saying? Like the acts of bad behavior, like testimony that's unsubstantiated. You know what I'm saying? Other than Exhibit A and Exhibit B of Kid Cudi getting his car tore up. You know what I'm saying? And people saying what they saw. And then you have conflicting testimony, people saying, you know, Diddy did right by me. He put me in position of success. You know what I mean? And then the most hard hitting stuff that we've seen in court, to be honest, is you know, character diminishing testimony from
domestic
the
violence,
Punisher. Yeah, domestic violence, like all of that
which
stuff
he's not
is
being
bad.
charged with. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not being charged with it. He wasn't charged with any criminal mischief with the Kid Cudi situation. They're just talking about what happened versus, you know, and yes, allegedly he has fixers and it's a part of the RICO, and this is the reason why they're presenting all of this, but none of it has been substantiated, bro. It's just they just tearing down the man's character. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but further to that point, I'm gonna say this, and it's not a joke. This is 100% true.
You're gonna laugh
He gonna say it
anyway.
as a joke. Yeah.
You're gonna laugh anyway.
You can't.
It's funny.
You can't send the man to jail for being a cuck.
That's true.
Listen,
I mean,
they're building this case, and I get.
they said he had a veil and a New York fitted going like this.
And then
they're building this case, right? And it's very heavily surrounds the things that he did to, with, and because of Cassie. Sounds like an angry boyfriend to me. An angry boyfriend who's got a lot of money to push things in his direction when his girl is not acting the way he wants her to act. That's really all it sounds like to me. And then
absolutely control.
And then at the end of the day, it's like, if it was so bad, all these people are testifying, like, you didn't see it and walk away. You didn't see it and report it to police.
Slippery slope there. That's like saying if the domestic violence was so bad.
No. Let me finish. They, like, if you're gonna hold him accountable, you need to hold them accountable as well. All right? Like,
they're part of the criminal enterprise. Citizen, do you do as a citizen to say something? I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Now, what if they were What if they were fearful for their life?
There's witness protection. You testifying now? You could have testified then. They do it
with the mob. You always have one or two people that snitch, that put it up in the air and say, "This is what happened." This is what, you know.
Listen,
Diddy's not more dangerous than the mob, bro.
But these people also aren't experienced either.
I don't want to get anyone to get this twisted, right? I'm
real quick maneuvers. They had the dude offered immunity today. The manager for the hotel that Diddy offered $100,000
to not say nothing.
For the footage.
Intercontinental, and he took it.
Yeah, to not say nothing, and he took it, and he got federal immunity to testify to say that he got that money.
So I'm gonna be very clear.
He gave $50,000 to one of his managers, another $20,000 to somebody else, and kept $30,000 for himself, and bought a used car. I
gotta be clear when I say this. Like, Diddy, the things that he did to Cassie are
despicable. Yeah,
are despicable. Let's be very clear about that. They are despicable.
She was with somebody.
However, they are not, in my opinion, things that are criminal offenses that they should be wasting taxpayer dollars to prosecute this man for. Which only leads me to believe everything that's being released is to destroy his character. It is, in the words of the President of the United States, a witch hunt.
We gonna get word and after the trial that Diddy was about to buy Apple or some shit.
Facts.
That's how it always goes. Like, this dude, he was on the verge of this,
making this happen, and then boom, this came up. But I feel like the whole trial, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Then you got 50 in the background making
my
fun of
God.
everything. You don't take nothing serious, and then Cam pulling the
The
Punisher
Punisher.
on Talk to Flea, asking him if the pussy was good.
Yo.
Like nobody's taking
What
any of this,
are we doing?
bro. Nobody's taking any of this shit seriously.
Yeah, because a
But
lot
you
of
know,
people be
Which is
focusing on
why,
that part.
if I've had an argument with this in my own household, which is why if I was the man that Cassie's with now, I would have told her not to do it. So don't
Why?
expose yourself to it. Don't expose yourself to this because nothing's gonna happen to him, and all of your business is about to be put out in the street.
Mm.
Like you've already been paid. Let's just go ahead and live our lives and leave it alone.
and the thing is with her, she got exposed for looking jealous after she then got involved with another man and was married with her husband. Pete Game. Remember when they called her on the stand and asked her, did she FaceTime Diddy? Well, did the husband FaceTime her while she was with Diddy? They was getting it popping and the husband
Yeah.
was watching. So it's like they all weirdos, bro. Like every last one of them, they have these weird lifestyles. You know what? I take that back. I'm gonna call them weirdos. Superstar lifestyles, celebrity lifestyles. People who are ordinary people will never understand it. You know what I'm saying? The
And they got the
sexual
money to make it
fetishes.
happen. They got the money to make it all happen.
Bro, they have sex so many different ways, so many different angles. They got to try new shit. Diddy gets off watching his girl get clapped. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Like to me, I don't want to see that. So
Yo.
that's the nuance to it, right? He don't mind her getting clapped, doing all the crazy, wild, sus stuff that he's doing, but don't go to Kid Cudi house without my permission. You see how there's rules to it that we'll never be able to understand or digest. He's a controlling individual. That's what it comes down to. And people don't want to let him down or disrespect him because of the ramifications that come with it, because he's so powerful. He can affect your career. So I wouldn't call it racketeering, but more of a vindictive individual who doesn't want you to succeed if you're not under his wing.
Well, we just all got to remember that the jury is going to have very specific instructions when it comes to the law. You know, these are our differing opinions on the matter, but they are going to be held to a different standard when they're evaluating all the testimony they have heard and, you know, transversing what applies to the law and what doesn't.
He gonna get
how long y'all think this trial gonna go for?
He gonna get a life.
How much longer?
It'll be over before July.
He gonna get
another 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think he's getting 10.
I think
10 to 12.
A light 3 to 5.
10 to 12.
House arrest.
Is he gonna take that?
House arrest.
Is he gonna take that? See what I did
Probation.
there?
Take that.
Take that.
Wait. One question I have.
Take that is crazy.
One question I have to ask though: How does all of this affect the bad boy era? How do you look at Little Kim now? How do you look?
You go ahead and answer that, Felix, or
I
got an answer. I got my own answer. I'll let you go first.
The bad boy era. You cannot. This to me feels like them stripping Reggie Bush from his awards, right? Like you can try to strip the bad boy era of its influence, but it happened. You can't take that away.
I like that.
I think the bad boy era was very transformative during its peak, and that can never be reversed. However, I think we're going to be side-eyeing a lot of people, a whole lot of people. And as far as Diddy's reputation moving forward, good luck, buddy, because I don't think there's going to be any major brands willing to be associated with you.
I think that there were too many real niggas that were a part of that era for that to ever be stained or put into a light where it's just him. Like he was an integral part of what it means for, hip hop, the remixes, the image going forward of what a rap superstar, a black rap superstar should look like. But there were too many dudes that were a part of that movement that pushed that forward. Even in court, all you hear right now is the biggest crime that he committed, like to what Mr. Maneuver said, was being a cuck, jerking off, watching his wife get beat down. You didn't hear any subject A or subject B.
I think Sean
in
likes saying
court.
that.
Watching
Only
you
thing I
get
gotta
beat
add.
down. But no, but on the real though, like you didn't see any subject A was here. They were talking about any celebrities apart, and there's a lot of denial. I get it because people do not want to be implicated in that, but you don't hear too much of that in court in terms of there being those superstar individuals that are part of it. So no, in a question, no, I don't think that it'll affect the legacy overall.
I just want to say to all of that, I need to see Ben Stiller on the stand because he definitely did ask to come to a party. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He did ask. I saw him in the video ask to come to a party. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, we talk about this all the time, and we keep going back to the age-old question: how can we, or when do we get to Diddy or Diddy? How or when do we get to separate the art from the artist? But moving on to another industry, we also got to realize sometimes we have to separate the athlete from the person. Stefon Diggs. Apparently, he's Mr. Steal Your Girl. Because this dude is out here living his best life. I've seen on social media they want to put him in the Hall of Fame already because of actions from a recent video that has gone viral with Stefon Diggs on a boat with his now girlfriend Cardi B. They officially popped out. You know, New York Knicks style is in here, you know, repping for the home team. But Stefon Diggs on a boat, you know, seen with, you know, a pink substance, you know, a couple other ladies, might have been flirty a little bit, might have been touchy a little bit. You know, the head coach had to come out and be like, you know, he wants his players to make smart decisions. But Sean, this is your wheelhouse, bro. This is your talk to me about this whole situation going on right now. And you got Offset in the mix getting tight because his son got the same braids that Stefon Diggs got, and they putting it on the internet. A whole shit show, for lack of a better word. So talk to me about this whole exchange. What do you think about that pink substance was? Do you think he necessarily did something wrong, or do people just have to learn how to shut the fuck up and put the phones away?
I think Stefon Diggs had that party pack in his pocket. You know what I'm saying?
The party pack is wild.
He had the 2000 party pack on it. Be like, y'all go ahead and get loose. You heard? But I think that the whole situation is super messy, right? But Stefon Diggs being a part of it. Imagine you with Cardi B, you make a couple mistakes, and then she gets with Stefon Diggs. First of all, the nigga's an athlete.
Couple?
So you know, huh?
A couple?
I was just listen. I'm being polite and pointing out another black man's errors. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be the black man to tear another black man down. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. But what I will say is, how you go from Offset to Stefon Diggs. First of all, the nigga's an athlete, so you already know that
way more bread,
way more bread, and way more athletic than you are. If you know what I'm getting at, he is tearing her up from the ceiling to the floor, and she wants some more. So the other thing is, with him being on the boat with Cardi B and them taking pictures, that was purposefully done so you could put that out there on social media so that people could see, so that he could feel it. This is her lick back. You know what I'm saying? This is her lick back. Then she posts a photo of the braids of her son, their son, with Stefon Diggs' braids.
That's unbelievable.
You know,
that like is unbelievable.
For me, I'm like, if I'm Offset, he should have never responded to it in the first place. Just leave it alone, bro. And then
she went on
before what?
She went on the rant and said, you know, she talked about don't go and come see the kids.
She went.
Don't get no money.
She went on a but maneuvers. She went on a rant because she heard the Breakfast Club that morning, and immediately, first of all, she should not be airing out their personal business the way that she does on what is it?
Where's she
Funhouse.
from?
What the fuck is it called again?
Where's she from?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. Yeah.
Where
Why
is
is
she
that
from?
shit still alive? She from New York. She from the
Uptown.
Bronx.
Bronx.
She
Exactly.
from the Bronx.
Exactly.
She
That
from the Bronx.
little boy from Atlanta didn't know what he was getting into.
Nah, he
Come
listen,
on.
boy. Listen, boy had a lot of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? To get his life together when it came to her. She forgave him mad times, bro. Mad times, and he kept
Yo,
doing the
didn't
same
Cuz
shit
pull
over
up
and
on
over again.
stage at one of her performances with like roses and stuff to get her back
Yeah.
once upon a time? I mean, bro.
It worked. It
did
worked.
She loved him.
It worked.
She did love
And he
him.
got she loved him. But now that love turned to resentment. And every time
Woman's
something
goals.
happens, like I mentioned on the Breakfast Club, she heard. First of all, it was his publicist that came out and said, "Yo, the reason why he's going after spousal, what is it called?
Support.
Spousal support is because she was going after child support, and she wanted half and all this other stuff. So he did his part by doing that to make sure he protects his assets. And then she got on Clubhouse and went off on that nigga. Oh, you don't take care of your kid. When the last time you seen your kids? Only time I be outside. I don't even be outside. Like, she was going off on boy. But if there's any silver lining from it, I mean, Diggs is winning. This is the best thing. This is the best thing that ever happened to that man's career. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't pay attention to is the same way you're seeing all the videos of him being outside with Cardi B is the same video you're seeing him in training camp. Getting busy, off-season workouts. You know what I'm saying? He did miss OTAs. He got caught with the pink party pack in his pocket, handed it off to the shorties, which didn't look good.
Voluntary workouts this week though.
Killing it. Looking like the Diggs of old. So I mean, if nothing else, that he's a worker. He's a good ball player, but he's caught in the mix of some crazy love triangle. But they look happy, bro. Can't knock
maneuvers. Are we gonna get the same amount of camera pan overs to Cardi B in the stands as we do Taylor Swift?
Definitely not.
The shield is more important.
Definitely not.
The shield.
Oh man.
I mean,
respect the shield.
I need to go look at the schedule. Do the Patriots play the Chiefs this year? That'd be interesting.
Yo, but an athlete fucking your girl, you can't compare to that.
It's over.
It ain't the same, son.
The only thing
it ain't the same. The nigga trade day and night.
The only thing worse than that.
What you gonna do?
The only thing worse than that is a regular.
And that motherfucker eat wrap snacks and drink Hennessy all day, bro. Like this.
No, but the only thing worse than that is a regular dude fucking your girl. Like,
And that's another thing too, though. Like, I was listening to a little clip from Joe Budden podcast, and apparently Stefon Diggs is him in those atmospheres. Like, he pull up and the shorties is like, "Yo, Stefon here." So like, it gotta be him, bro.
It hit different, bro. It hit different. Offset, I know Offset burning up inside, bro.
Offset
but
throwing up.
What I hope that he's gonna recover from this. He's a real one. You know what I'm saying? So I know that he's gonna recover. But goddamn, it hurt bad. It gotta hurt bad right now, bro.
Yo, tell him to have Quavo throw a snowflake in somebody DM. They be alright.
He in Miami right now.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, he was in the club last night in Miami.
He's in the pain.
Club show.
He's in the pain.
He had a club show. He had a show. He had a performance. He had a club.
He getting it done. But fellas, this was a beautiful segment of Vibe Check. I hope we didn't get canceled. We touched on a lot. Pause, as we said, we were prefacing the whole segment with pause. Got the diddler packed up and out of here. Stefon Diggs apparently packed up Offset, got him out of here. We packing up and we getting out of here, but we'll be back at you with more content. Again, like, subscribe, comment, share the content. The boys are back. Off season coming up. Knicks head coach, we got to see who that is. Giants OTAs coming up. It's going to be a lot of content coming your way. Peace.
Peace.